Here we go. Welcome back to Winning the Division, episode number 70. I am your co-host, Ryan Smith. Alongside me, former NFL tight end Ben Troupe. Played college ball at the University of Florida and played in the NFL for the Oakland Raiders, the Tampa Bay Bucks, and was drafted by the Tennessee Titans down there in Nashville. Ben, it's hard to believe we're already at 70 episodes. Week 8 of the NFL season is just about in the books. Kansas City Chiefs and Washington Commanders wrapping up tonight on Monday Night Football, currently scoreless through the first quarter there in Arrowhead. Let's get into, though, before we get into recaps of the game and our players of the week, let's get into some worthy news and notes kind of around football in general. First, I couldn't start off the podcast without saying this first. A bit of very sad news. Former Jets center Nick Mangold has passed away at the age of 41 due to a kidney disease. Just very sad news all the way around. Obviously, you knew some people who played with him, and just very tragic to die at 41.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, I played around the same time Nick Mangold did play. Incredible player. You just feel bad for him, and you feel bad for his family. You feel bad for those teammates that he had. Rex Ryan said, couldn't really keep himself together. When we talk about Nick Mangold, I think he coached for 6 years when he was with the Jets. But it's something I be telling you about, Smitty. As men, whenever we got diagnoses of different things, man, we think that sometimes because of your celebrity, you're gonna be at the front of the line. But man, I was sad to hear that he couldn't find somebody that could, have a kidney for his family and different things. But our hearts and prayers go out to his family. May he rest in paradise. It's between him and the muscle hamster not too many weeks ago. It's like whenever we lose somebody in the NFL family, I feel like I did lose a brother, even though I didn't know these guys. But yeah, it was tragic because it seemed like I think he came out saying he needed a kidney, and then you see how fast, which from what I hear, he was on dialysis for like 10 years, something like that. A long time. He's been dealing with it a long time. But our hearts and prayers definitely go. I think he was married. I think he had a couple of children. So our hearts and prayers go out to his wife and his children.
And then Al Davis, obviously he's passed a while back, obviously, but his wife Carol died over the weekend. She rest in peace. She is also dead at 93. The widow of Al Davis.
Never had a chance to meet her. Did get a chance to meet Al Davis when I was on my short stint with the then Oakland Raiders. Mark Davis, her son, the current owner of the now Las Vegas Raiders. Our condolences to him. I mean, to lose a parent at any time, whether they live, 50 years, 100, 90 some years like she did, and we just hope that, it was natural causes and that she was, resting, hopefully at home with her family. And like I said, death is a mystery to us all, Smitty. But we all gonna have to meet our maker one day. We just hope that, man, when that time comes, man, we lived a long life. And my condolences to Miss Davis, just like my condolences to Nick Mangold.
Yeah. And then if we not easily can move on to not as tough subjects, we've got college football is really getting ready to ramp up here as we get into kind of the second half of the season. But already you've got college football openings at Florida, Penn State, Oklahoma State, and just recently now LSU, Brian Kelly, the latest to be fired. UCLA, Virginia Tech, a couple more that I also on the list here as well. Rex Ryan, who you just mentioned, actually talked about Brian Kelly. He said, quote, "You're not an alligator hunter." That was his quote. Thoughts about these, not Brian Kelly specifically, but just these college football with the NIL era, teams who maybe have playoff aspirations or maybe ones who don't. And it just seems like coaches are there for a short period of time, and then all of a sudden schools just let them go, and the buyout, you'd be darned.
Yeah, 12 schools: LSU, Florida, Penn State, Arkansas, Virginia Tech, Oklahoma State, UCLA, Stanford, Oregon State, Colorado State, UAB, Kent State. That number is going to go up before the end of the year, but right now we have 12. Smitty, something else we were talking about this morning. I think coaches get fired for different reasons. I think for Brian Kelly, for Billy Napier, definitely for Coach James Franklin, you're getting fired because you're losing, you hurting the brand, and you hurting the perception and reputation of the school. brands like LSU, Penn State, and Florida. LSU and Florida are top 10 brands. Penn State is right there. I don't think Penn State is a top 10 brand, but it's definitely top 15. College football is changing by the minute because I think some of these schools are saying to themselves, what can hurt us the most? The players or the coach? And it's always the coach. Because a player is still in 18 to 24 years old, and you can be like, well, you can chop it up to, immaturity and just trying to figure things out. Brian Kelly been in Notre Dame, didn't win at Notre Dame, didn't win at LSU. James Franklin came over from Vanderbilt to Penn State. He's won one Big Ten title. I don't know how many times he beat Ohio State. He got a losing record. I don't know how many times he beat Michigan. I don't think he got a winning record. Last year, he went to the college football playoff semis, and they think that's the best he could do. When you lose to a winless UCLA and Northwestern in back-to-back weeks, you got to go. I don't like it, but I understand it. And Billy Napier, what can you say? At the University of Florida, I mean, Billy Napier, Will Muschamp, Dan Mullen, Jim McElwain, Ron Zook. Those are the guys sandwiched in between Urban Meyer and Steve Spurrier. It's not for the weak-hearted, but I want to say Brian Kelly's buyout is $54 million. Billy Napier's buyout was like $21 million. So these guys are going to be a lot of things. Broke ain't going to be one of them, and they're going to land on their feet. One of these guys, all these guys are going to end up in one of these places. But there's college football. It's the best variety of football you're ever going to see on a Saturday. The best variety and brand of football is on Saturday. The best players in the world play on Sunday. Period.
Well, Ben, let's get into our players of the week and not players of the week here. In addition of winning the division in the NFL, I will let you go first. Who are your players and not players of the week?
I mean, these are the two easiest picks. But my player of the week, Jonathan Taylor is one of them. I mean, the season that he's having right now, Smitty, I think he's had back-to-back either 2 or 3 games in a row with 3. I want to say it's 3 touchdowns every time he played the Titans. So every time he played the Titans, you can just chop it up to 3 touchdowns every time. My next guy, man, is not being talked about enough. It's Bo Nix. Bo Nix had 4 touchdowns. They beat the brakes off the Dallas Cowboys. Like, this was not a game you forgot. Wait a minute. Everybody, this is the guy not named Jaden Daniels, who we should have been talking, who had a better statistical year in 2024 than Jaden Daniels. But Jaden Daniels took his team to the playoffs. So did Bo Nix. Jaden Daniels was really, really good. So was Bo Nix. So anyway, my not player of the week is DK Metcalf for this reason. When is DK Metcalf gonna go to therapy and stop doing all this temper tantrum stuff? He do this everywhere he go. Pushing people all in the face, and he got this thing. First, he had a spat with Fred Warner like a couple of years ago. Now he's doing it with Quay Walker for the Green Bay. Dude, what's wrong with you? It's almost like he did it with Pete Carroll. Now he's doing it because people are always talking about what does Mike Tomlin have to deal with since he's been a Pittsburgh Steelers head coach, a volatile receiver from Antonio Brown, right? Then you talk about George Pickens. Now you got to deal with DK Metcalf. DK, look, man, you make a lot of money. You're a really, really good player, man. Calm that stuff down because a player be over. Then Arthur Smith was looking like, what is that? Is that DK? Yep. That's Mr. Temper Tantrum himself. So DK Metcalf, my not player of the week. My players of the week are Bo Nix, obviously Jonathan Taylor. And my team, I got a lot of teams to pull from. I'm going to go with the Tennessee Titans. It is hard to watch this offense and this defense.
Yeah,
they are equally bad. So it's enough bad to go around. You got a bad sandwich, and that's what they eat in Nashville right now. So my Tennessee Titans are my not team of the week, and I could have picked them weeks 1 through 8, even the game they won. But this is definitely one of those times.
I hate to do this, but I'm going to go with James Cook as my player of the week against my Carolina Panthers. 19 rushes for 216 yards. 8 touchdowns, and the Bills 40-9 win there in Charlotte, where I was unfortunately in the state. The best game to attend there in Charlotte. So James Cook, my first player of the week there at the running back position. Again, 19 carries for 216 yards and 2 touchdowns in the win. My co-player of the week, give me Breece Hall and maybe his hurrah on the Jets. We'll see if he gets traded here in the next week or two. But Breece Hall was the guy leading the Jets back to victory for their first victory of the season, 39-38 over the Cincinnati Bengals. Breece Hall was a force there down the stretch. And he even fired a pass in the back of the end zone to frickin' Mason Taylor. And the DB for the Bengals couldn't even get his head around fast enough. That was an outstanding throw there by Breece Hall. So give me Breece Hall and James Cook as my players of the week. My not players of the week. Give me I'm sorry. My not team of the week. You said the Titans. My team of the week. I have a team of the week and a not team of the week. My team of the week is the Miami Dolphins. I'm sorry. I know as a Falcons fan, that must hurt. But Tua played his best game of the year with the visor on after the whole incident with his eye woken up and swollen shut. But
he only needed one. He only needed one. He didn't need them both.
They needed that in the worst way down there in Miami to get a nice victory, even if it against Atlanta, who still statistically has a really good defense. But again, playing without Kirk Cousins or Michael Penix and Drake London, Kirk Cousins got the start. But Miami Dolphins, my team of the week. My not team of the week is who I just talked about. It's got to be the Cincinnati Bengals, giving the Jets their first win of the season, blew the lead. I mean, Joe Flacco absolutely had a great start for them. I think it was 3 touchdowns, like 21-0 or whatever it was. And you just can't blow that lead if you're the Bengals, and yet they did, and they found a way to do so. So give me the Miami Dolphins, my team of the week, Bengals, my not team of the week, and then Breece Hall and James Cook as my co-players of the week.
And I got to have an honorable mention. What am I doing? It was National Tight Ends Day on Sunday. I got to give another player with Tucker Kraft, Green Bay Packers tight end, 7 catches, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns. They could not deal with him. And then one time, on the second touchdown, he was real close to the camera. He looks at the camera and says, quote, "I do this." I mean, so Tucker Kraft, shout out to all the tight ends in National Tight End Day. It was a bunch of tight ends scoring a bunch of touchdowns. George Kittle got into the Aggie back into it, but yeah, shout out to all the tight ends. Shout out to all the tight ends around the world. National Tight Ends Day is not just for NFL tight ends. College tight ends, high school tight ends, middle school tight ends, Pop Warner tight ends, all tight ends. National Tight Ends Day, be the best holiday not celebrated enough in the National Football League. But shout out to Tucker Kraft, 7 catches, 143, 2 tubs against the Dallas Cowboys.
All right. Well, Ben, let's get into our recap of these games here in Week 8. We'll start back on Thursday Night Football, where the Los Angeles Chargers take down the Minnesota Vikings 37-10. Chargers now 5-3 on the year. Minnesota at 3-4. What was your observations on this game?
I think Carson Wentz and the Minnesota Vikings got a problem. I mean, Carson Wentz was supposed to be a guy he's supposed to say, hey, man, I'm going to do my best Sam Darnold. It's not going that way at all. And the thing is, 15-27, 144 yards and a touchdown. I don't know if he went down with an injury or something like that, but Brosman came in 3 for 4, 13 yards. This is about the Chargers. A huge bounce back. 18-25, 227 yards for Justin Herbert, 3 touchdowns. Vidal, stepping in for both of the injured starters right there with the Chargers. 20 people for 117 in the tub. McClunky did type thing. McClunky did 6 for 88 in the tub. No. The Minnesota Vikings are the better team that they've been showing. It's just they haven't played well as a team. I don't know what's going on with Carson Wentz. Maybe because he had to go up against his former team, the Eagles. He wasn't able to, have the game he wanted to have, and maybe it's still like lingering on. But shout out to the Chargers. I was saying, man, they're pretenders more than contenders. They look like a contender against the Vikings. They look really, really good. And to be down both of your starting running backs and to not miss a beat to do it in the manner that they're doing it, I don't even know if I still don't know if Khalil Mack is even still playing right now. So they're doing it with defense. They're doing it with a quality offense. So shout out to the Chargers getting a big win, a big dominant win against the Minnesota Vikings.
Justin Jefferson, really quickly, he joins Randy Moss and Torrey Holt as the only players with at least 8,000 yards in their first 6 seasons in NFL history. Jefferson joins Moss and Chris Carter as the only Vikings receivers with 8,000 more yards in their career. So Justin Jefferson already doing crazy things there in Minnesota and on a track to be a Hall of Famer if he kind of keeps all this up. Let's go to Sunday's games. We got the Miami Dolphins over the Atlanta Falcons, 34-10. Tua Tagovailoa and company approved at 2-6 on the year. Falcons fall to 3-4. Thoughts on this game as the Dolphins have not allowed a first quarter touchdown defensively in the past 5 games?
Embarrassing. I mean, this is embarrassing top to bottom. I mean, Zach Robinson, offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons, there is no creativity. I know you got Kirk Cousins because I think that Michael Penix is dealing with an injury right now. Kirk Cousins, I know we're gonna get to Andy Dalton and your Carolina Panthers, but I was trying to tell you, Smitty, Kirk Cousins, 21-31, 173 yards. Bijan Robinson, I'm gonna say this stat, and I just want you to just listen. 9 rushing for 25 yards. They gave Bijan Robinson the ball 9 times.
9 times. That's
9 for 25. Kyle Pitts led out. Kyle Pitts had 9 catches for 59 yards. But this was all about the Dolphins. 20 or 26, 205 yards, 4 touchdowns. Right? Jalen Waddle, 5 catches, 99 yards and a touchdown. Washington had 4 for 36. The Falcons didn't even look like they wanted to be there. This was about as uninspired of a team as I've seen in a long time. And I know Raheem Morris came out today and said he's not going to fire Zach Robinson, offensive coordinator. You're not firing him. You might want to be on the lookout too, Raheem, because right now, like I've been telling you, Smitty, I am not surprised when things like this happen to the Falcons. This is what the Falcons do. They'll beat the Bills, right? And then they'll look like this against the Dolphins. And I can't put my finger on it, but Tua, maybe he needed the visor, maybe he did it. The Falcons needed everything, and it didn't happen. If Kirk Cousins is still showing why, I don't understand why he's an Atlanta Falcon. And he got paid almost $100 million in 2024. Those are the type of decisions Terry Fontenot in the front office is making with the Falcons. But yeah, it's the Falcons. But the Falcons do Falcons things. A lot of times, that's not a good thing.
Yeah. Let's keep it moving to Baltimore, where the Lamar Jackson-less Baltimore Ravens win over the Chicago Bears 30-16. Ravens are now 2-5 on the year, and the Bears are 4-3. Bears scored touchdowns in 6 of their first 7 red zone possessions in their first 3 games of the season, Ben. But in the past 4 games, the Bears are 5 for 16 in the red zone.
Sometimes, Smitty, we have to be reminded who these teams are. I remember when Kansas City played the Detroit Lions a couple of weeks ago, and they shut Detroit down. They told Detroit, we still a good team. Don't let what happened before today make you forget that we still one of the best teams. Caleb Williams, 25 for 38, 285 yards and a pick. DeAndre Swift, 11 for 45. Rome Medusa, appreciate your fantasy, young man. 7 for 114, no touchdown. DJ Moore, 4 for 73. But this is all about the Ravens. Huntley, 17 to 22, 186 yards and a touchdown. Derrick Henry, I think he tied Jim Brown for 106 career rushing touchdown, 21 for 71 for 2 touchdowns. This is all about the Ravens. Smitty, you kept saying, how do the Lamar Jackson-less Ravens beat the Bears? Because the Ravens still got the best coaching. They still said, dude, what are we doing? Like what are we doing right now? Why are we looking like a team that act like we've never won anything, like we have no direction, no structure, no foundation? No, that's the Bears. The Bears are still trying to figure themselves out, and I can appreciate, what Ben Johnson is doing with Caleb Williams. But Ben Johnson's going to go back and say, "Hey, man, I thought this was our best shot to beat the Ravens, huh? You thought? Isn't that what it looked like?" Yeah. But no, the Ravens, like I said, the Ravens did to the Bears what Kansas City did to Detroit. Hey, is Chicago and Detroit in the same division? They are. So I just think that when you think about what the Ravens were able to do, they were able to go out and say, "Listen, we got to show that we're a good team without Lamar."
Yeah.
Huh? Hello. And I think they showed it on Sunday, and they did it in a dominating way.
My Carolina Panthers, without Bryce Young, suffer a 40-9 setback in Charlotte, our first home loss of the season there in Carolina to the Buffalo Bills. Bills now 5-2 on the year. Carolina back to 500. It was the James Cook show, really, at the end of the day. You could argue, he was the 4th player in the NFL history with 215-plus receiving yards and 2+ rushing touchdowns in the game on fewer than 20 carries. The other 3 players to do that, Ben, listen, Bo Jackson, Derrick Henry, and Pro Football Hall of Famer Bobby Mitchell.
Hey, this is what when I was breaking down your game, I said certain teams, now they have to let us, they have to remind us who they are, and that's what the Bills did. When Josh Allen was able to do on Sunday what I think the Bills had to see. Not hate that it had to be against your Panthers, but the Bills had to prove that we can win when Josh doesn't play well. Because every other time he got to play well. 12 of 19, 160 yards and a touchdown. Like you said, Smitty, he wasn't really doing anything. But you know what this game was about? Missed tackles. good Lord, it was so many missed tackles on D. When James Cook break for like the 60-something yarder, there was nobody there. Where were the safeties?
It was a blocking clinic, is what it was.
I'm like, James Cook was so wide open. He's looking around like, ain't nobody going. But you're right. This was the James Cook show. 19 for 260 yards, 11.4 yards carry, 2 touchdowns. Right. You always ask me about Keon Coleman. Right. Keon Coleman had 3 catches, 30 yards. Keon Coleman is all right for the Buffalo Bills, but Buffalo just had their way. But I got to go to Andy Dalton once again. 16 to 24, 175 yards in the pick. I really don't know what's going on with the Dowdle and Hubbard right now because they had 20 carries together. Like, that's 20 carries, 8 for Dowdle and 12 for Chubb. They're gonna have to figure out what they're doing. I mean, McMillan 7 for 99. Listen, Ted McMillan he's rock. Ted McMillan is Ibuka without the touchdowns. He's really, 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 really solid. But if you are Carolina, you're gonna have to put in the rearview, man, and get right back to work. You don't let this snowball, right? Because Buffalo is gonna beat most teams they're going up against. We get that part. We hope it doesn't look like this. But listen, as they say, sometimes you the hammer, sometimes you the nail. If you were the Titans, if you were the Falcons, and you were the Panthers, you were the nail, and you were the Cowboys, you were the nail on Sunday. It's just sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. I don't think this is indicative of what you guys are going to be in the team. I just think it showed the importance of a one, Bryce Young.
And word on the street is he will be back in Lambeau on Sunday, where the Panthers get to play the Packers.
Oh, so he got that Tiger blood. He got that Adrian Peterson healing mechanism blood. Okay, I can rock with it.
Word on the street is he will be back. The New York Jets get their first win of the season. Let's clap it up for the Jets. 39 over the Cincinnati Bengals. 1-7 Jets, 3-5 Bengals after this victory, 39-38. It was Breece Hall doing his best interpretation in what may have been his final game or two with the Jets. Jets win probability when Ben was as low as 2.9%, facing 4th down from their 49-yard line with 8:41 left in regulation, trailing 38-24. Jets would score 15 unanswered points, including a successful 2-point conversion, and limit the Bengals to 9 offensive plays in the final 10 minutes of the game. I mean, oh my gosh. I know we can't spend a ton of time on this, but golly, that is, if you're a Bengals fan, that is rough.
Oh, no. If you're a Bengals fan, this is why. See, you see the misery, you see the dagger in the heart, you see the stake in the heart, just twisting it. No, 3 congratulations goes out right now. 1, the Jets. Man, congratulations, man. No one wants to be an 0-16, 0-17 team. No one wants to deal with that. You don't want to just have 1 win, but 1 win is better than no win. So you will take that. Congratulations to Aaron Glenn. You get your first win as a head coach. I know it was a lot. Former player turned head coach now. And congratulations to Justin Fields. Justin Fields is battling 2 things. He's battling the fans, and he's battling Woody Johnson, the freaking owner.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Justin Fields, I think you've earned yourself a start for the rest of the season, sir. Tyrod Taylor, I mean, I get it, but I don't get that part. So the owners don't understand. Hey, do you know why they laugh at you? Because you tell jokes. You're a comedian. You go to the media talking trash about your quarterback. And look, Justin Fields, what you said after the game, man, about praising God and being in your prayer closet and just asking God. Keep using your platform, youngin. Don't let them make you think that they do it too, or either don't know how to do it or don't want to acknowledge it. But either way, congratulations to the Jets getting a big win. And if you are the Bengals, it's like, how do you go from what you did against Pittsburgh? You were winning. But that's why the Bengals are the Bengals. People say, what's the difference? Well, listen. People say, what's the difference in the Bengals and the Browns? I go, I mean, I don't know how many miles they are from, but they ain't far apart. Cincinnati is better than Cleveland, but it ain't far. It ain't far. But I'm just saying, shout out. But it's all about the Jets. Shout out to the Jets and Joe Flacco. Listen, you keep on telling the story about the man that was in the bar by himself, and when you was younger, you just think, oh man, that man is miserable. Now you let that man's in heaven. Well, go to a bar and get you a drink. Don't get drunk. But you deserve a drink for what didn't happen on Sunday.
Let's go to Houston, where it was no problem for the Houston Texans. 26-15 over the San Francisco 49ers. Houston 3-4 on the year. San Francisco falling to 5-3 with Mac Jones still pulling in for Brock Purdy. Despite being slowed down in this game, it was CMC, the fifth player ever with 5,000 rushing yards and 5,000 receiving yards in his career, joining Marshall Faulk, Lenny Moore, Marcus Allen, and Tiki Barber. But talk about the CJ Stroud of the Texans, though, getting this victory without Nico Collins. I would say, Ben, probably this is Stroud's rookie year all over again, at least in this one game.
Yeah, he looked good. I mean, he did look good. I mean, 30 or 39, 318 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. As you mentioned, no Nico Collins, no problem. I mean, what he did was he spread the football around. They played really, really good team defense. A guy that doesn't get talked about enough for how well he rushed the passes, Will Anderson Jr. The man is nice. He ain't Max Crosby. He ain't Michael Parsons. He ain't Aiden Hutchinson, right? Nobody's Myles Garrett, at this point. We'll get to him. But I think the Texans needed this win against a quality opponent. The Texans right now are looking up at the AFC South that's being ran away from them, being ran away with the Colts. I mean, the Titans. I mean, the Titans, they play football. And we don't really know what's going on with the Jags. They're kind of an iffy team right now coming back from London. So I think if you are the Texans, you don't want to just go from being the class of the AFC South the last 2 years to kind of just being an afterthought. So this is a really, really good win. Again, look, they're the walking wounded. Let's call it what it is. The 49ers are the walking wounded. The 49ers are dealing with injuries in 2025 like they dealt with in 2024. You just switching the names up, right? So, but the Texans got a really, really good win. Petrie, the safety kind of linebacker hybrid for the Houston Texans. Man, you might want to watch this young man, the way in which they use him. He's all over the field, played at Baylor in college. Really, really good player. But this is all about the Texans, a really, really quality win against a quality team in the 49ers. Mac Jones is doing the best he can. How hurt is Brock Purdy really? Ain't nobody really saying, because he was supposed to be back. How hurt is he really? And that's the difference, Smitty. When you got all that money, they're going to protect you. And now he got his big contract. They're trying to protect him. We will see what happens.
Let's get to Myles Garrett. The Cleveland Browns lose by 20, 32-12 up in Foxborough. Patriots now 6-2 on the year. That schedule, though, very easy. And Cleveland Browns fall to 2-6. Two players defining this game. On the winning side, it was obviously Drake May. I will let you talk about it. I'm just going to say, from the Cleveland perspective, Dylan Gabriel, safety, not as bad as Dan Orlovsky's back in the day, but it was pretty bad. And then Myles Garrett, a career-high 5 sacks, resetting the Browns' single-game record, 20th player to have that many sacks in the game since 1982, first to do so, and then a losing effort in which his team was defeated by more than 3 points. Ben, I'll let you address Drake May, obviously, because he's the winning team here, but I'll let you also address the other point that we talked about earlier. People are saying, well, Myles Garrett, stop pouting at the end of the bench. You took the $240 million guaranteed, whatever it is, and you chose not to, hold their feet to the fire and trade you out of Cleveland. So you chose all this money, and now you can't be complaining and moaning when your team is still not good around you because you chose to take all this money and stay in Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, it's a double-edged sword when it comes to the Myles Garrett situation. But Myles Garrett also ain't doing what everybody thought he was going to do, pack it in. He ain't packing it in. He's still giving you everything he got. And nothing is more frustrating, Smitty, than when you are playing your best football and we losing. When he said, I'm willing to give away this entire game for a win, I believe it. Because Myles Garrett is saying, look, man, I remember when I was the number 1 pick coming out of Texas A&M, everybody kept saying I wasn't going to be that good. I think I'm getting drafted too high. It's going to be too much for him. What they got to say now? What they got to say now? It was a lot of people had a lot to say. Myles Garrett is about the only reason why you're going to be watching the Cleveland Browns, because you know what they're going to do on offense? They're not going to be able to run it. They're going to throw the ball to Harold Fannin Jr. and David Njoku, and Dylan Gabriel going to give you all you got. But you know the worst part about this game? Kevin Stefanski be talking nonsense. They asked Kevin Stefanski after the game, why don't you try to push it through him to see if he can try to give a spark. That's not what we focus on right now. What are you focused on? Like, it's almost like, you traded Joe Flacco, which made Shador the second string quarterback. And who knows? This could be too much for Dylan Gabriel right now. If Dylan Gabriel is going to have any longevity in the National Football League, it's not going to be with Cleveland, because by the time he's ready to make some quality starts and play some quality games, his confidence and his body are going to be shot. So but not to belabor on those Browns too much. Drake May is a dark horse right now for the MVP. 18 to 24, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick, right? Matt Collins had, 7 catches, 89 yards. Stephon Diggs only had 3 catches, 14 yards, and a touchdown. But let me tell you what Mike Vrabel is doing. He is putting his imprint on these Patriots really, really quickly. See, people knew they were going to be competitive. They didn't know they was going to be competitive this fast. And I kept telling y'all, Mike Vrabel said, look, the goal is to be hard to beat. Not that we can't be beat. And they are hard out. You're not going to just beat the Patriots. Not with a coach like that. Not with accountability like that. Not with a foundation like that. So what Drake May and company is doing right now, the rest of the AFC and the rest of the NFL should be on notice, because guess what? They already beat Buffalo. They got to play them again, but they already beat Buffalo. Now, by the time they play them again, it's going to be extremely cold. Extremely cold. But I like the way the Patriots are playing with Drake May. Not that they're not putting him in position the way he got to win games, even though he could if you needed him to. And that's the thing about a quarterback, Smitty. You put him in a position, hey, man, if we need you, we know we got you. But guess what? We want you to go out there and play loose, play free, but play smart. And that's what he's doing, taking care of the football. And right now, they tops in the AFC East.
Let's go to Philadelphia, where the Eagles get a 38-20 victory over the New York Giants. Eagles 6-2, Giants now 2-6. But this day was really about Cam Skattebo and an unfortunate open fracture, which he had to stay in Philadelphia and get surgery that night. And just a sad way to see him go down, and his season is obviously over. And, he's obviously going to come back stronger, and he's got a nice future ahead of him based on where he was drafted. But the Eagles, 6-2 are better for a franchise 4th straight year, and they're now 5-0 in those Kelly green uniforms.
Jalen Hurts, right? 15 to 20, 179 yards. He had 4 touchdowns. When people say that's efficiency, I don't care about the 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, right? Saquon Barkley, and I mean this respectfully, the real Saquon Barkley stood up. 14 rushes, 150 yards, 1 touchdown. Devonta Smith had 6 for 84. And I know ain't nobody really talking about this a lot. I don't know how much longer A.J. Brown is going to be in Philly. They're winning games, Smitty, and here's the thing. I don't want to win a Super Bowl and all of a sudden I get pedestrian because y'all ain't finding a way to get me to rock. But they did go out there and handle business like they do. I mean, I know that Graham is back. He came out of retirement to kind of help that pass rush. I mean, I ain't really went through looking at the defense, looking at the sacks. No, I mean, there was a bunch of sacks. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They had 5 sacks as a team, which, Jackson Dart is still a rookie. But as you mentioned, it's all about Skattebo. I mean, my daughter called me and was like, Daddy, did you see what happened to Cam Skattebo? Like, yeah, I did. It's a dislocated ankle, man. But he's gonna be all right. He's already been a fan favorite. I mean, I saw him at the Knicks game. They was already showing him love. I mean, he's a young budding star, and then him and Jackson Dart, even though Jackson Dart got to go through the rest of his rookie year without him. I think having a guy like that to have your back. Skattebo plays football the right way. He ain't scared of nobody. He said he welcomes all comers. Come far, come wide, come many. I ain't scared of none of y'all. But I'm wishing that young man nothing but the best. The security guard, I cannot remember his name, from Philly, kind of famous. I cannot remember his name. Big Don actually went to the hospital. Big Don went to the hospital and gave Cam Skattebo and his family, gave him some pizza and some Philly cheesesteak, little stuff like that. But that's a class act, man. So shout out to Big Dom, praying for you, Cam Skattebo. You definitely like the way you play football. But yeah, not to take away from the Phillies win, but in a class act from both Philly players as well as the New York Football Giants teammates. Showing him love as he got driven off the field.
Let's go down to New Orleans, where we saw the Spencer Rattler show might be done. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers 23-3 over the New Orleans Saints. Bucs now 6-2 and in control right now. 2 games up in the NFC South. Saints 1-7. But it was Baker Mayfield facing 48.1% blitz rates, his highest of the season there. But against completing just 4 of 11 passes for 12 yards against that blitz. And as I said earlier, Spencer Rattler got the boot for the Saints. Tyler Shuck, the rookie from Louisville, coming in mop-up duty as well. And I just can't get enough stats from this game. Since 2000, only 3 NFL players have 30 or more forced fumbles and 20 or more defensive fumble recoveries. That would be Jason Taylor, Julius Peppers, and now Levante David.
I mean, Levante David. Is Levante David the greatest linebacker to ever come through the Buccaneers? No, that would be A1 Derrick Brooks, the greatest weak side linebacker. But Levante David, he's right there. I mean, he's been a stable. He's gonna be a lifer, and he finds a way to get it done year in and year out. But Tyler, shucks. That's what I call him. Oh, shucks. That's what I call him. Tyler and Spencer had similar stats. Tyler was 17 to 30, 128 yards in a pick. Spencer was 15 to 21, 136 yards in a pick. Alvin Kamara had 6 rushes, 21 yards. How do you give a running back the ball 6 times? I mean, that's not even real. But here's the thing about the Buccaneers, right? 23 to 3. Baker Mayfield, 15 to 24, 152 yards. Very pedestrian. Tucker had 12 rushes, 42 yards in a touchdown. Ted Johnson led all receiving 5 of 42. The Bucs are showing, look, man, we just got to win games. We don't know. Mike Evans is done for the year. Like, he's not. He's done. Godwin, we don't really know how hurt he is. The Bucs are showing we just got to put enough distance between us and everybody else in the NFC South to the point where if we do start losing games, it's not going to be. And the only team that can stop them is Carolina. It's not Atlanta. And it's definitely not the Saints. But the Bucs are sticking to their winning ways. They got the best team and best culture in that division for a reason. And they're showing why, they are the class of the division.
Let's go to Mile High, where the Denver Broncos, unlike my Panthers, the Denver Broncos remain undefeated at home this year. They beat the Dallas Cowboys 44-24. Broncos 6-2 on the year. Cowboys fall to 3-4-1 on the season. Dak Prescott sacked twice in this loss to Denver. In the 3 games where Dak Prescott has taken 2 or more sacks, he has thrown for 3 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Conversely, where Prescott has been sacked once or none, he has thrown for 13 touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
The Denver Broncos open up a can.
Of you know what?
Yes, it got ugly. I mean, they neutralized George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. Dak Prescott, 19 to 31, 188 yards, 2 picks. Milton, Jay Milton, he had 3 or 4, 58 yards and a touchdown. But Javonte Williams, he was 13 for 41. He had 2 touchdowns, though. George Pickens, 7 for 78. CeeDee Lamb, 7 for 74. Very pedestrian. But this is about the Broncos. Bo Nix, 19 to 29, 247 yards, 4 touchdowns and a pick. J.K. Dobbins, 15 rushes, 111 yards. And R.J. Harvey, 7 rushes, 46 yards and 2 touchdowns. T. Franklin, 6 for 89 and 2 tubs. And the P. Bryant had 2 for 40 and a touchdown. The Broncos are dangerous. Like, don't look. Everybody want to talk about what the Chargers were able to do on Thursday night. The Broncos are dangerous. Yeah. And the Broncos, just like we were talking about the Houston Texans and what C.J. Stroud did his first 2 years, Bo Nix, like, I went to the playoffs my rookie year, and I'm getting better this year. I got some help around me. I got a running game. You can't. People are you either can't throw the ball on Patrick Surtain or you're afraid to throw it at him. Pick your poison, because if you throw it at him, all right, he might be sounding up the band. But I was very, very impressed by a Denver Broncos team that knows, hey man, the Chargers are playing well. We still got to deal with Kansas City, right? And the Raiders. The Raiders are the Raiders. Bo Nix, continue doing what you're doing. Sean Payton is not the easiest coach to get along with, but Sean Payton, yeah, I bet you ain't gonna say nothing else about Russ. And let me tell you something, Sean Payton. You think you fooled him when you told Brian DeBoer, oh, I wasn't really taking a shot at Russ. Of course you were. Oh, don't play the rookie until after we play Russ. Oh, so you think that's complimentary? But Russ, Mr. Let's ride. And all that, he came back at you. So Russ, man, I love the fight in you, but yeah, man, it's all about the Broncos. And listen, and them all orange jerseys, nasty. I like it. So yeah, all about the Broncos. And if Jared Jones comes out and makes a statement saying he think we are a player away on defense. No, you need 11 players on defense. You need 11 brand new ones. Damn.
Jerry still somehow thinks they're one player away, but speaking of Patrick Surtain, he is expected to be out multiple weeks with a pec strain, candidate for IR.
You are jabbing people when you stiff arm, you jabbing people line pretty hard if it hurts your pec. But hey, man, it happens.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's funny. The other big news, as I was literally telling you this news, Carson Wentz to have season-ending shoulder surgery. If you saw the game Thursday night, you saw how much pain he was in, a fractured orbital fracture and shoulder injury as well. And so it looks like J.J. McCarthy in line to start Sunday against the Detroit Lions in his return. Okay. So Carson Wentz season-ending shoulder surgery there for the Vikings. Let's go to your team, the Tennessee Titans, your drafted team, I should say, is how I should put that. The Indianapolis Colts 38, the Tennessee Titans 14, 1-7 Titans reverse that. It's the Colts record, 7-1. And best record in the NFL for the Colts, Jonathan Taylor and company continuing to do their thing. 4 of his first 8 games with 3+ touchdowns in those games. Jonathan Taylor joining Gene Roberts and moved within 2 games of tying LaDainian Tomlinson for most such performances in a season. And during that year, that was a rookie MVP type season for LaDainian Tomlinson, where he did win a rookie NFL MVP that year.
I'm gonna just start with the winning team because it's easy, right? Daniel Indiana Jones, 21 to 29, 272 yards, 3 touchdowns. You mentioned Jonathan Taylor, 12 rushes, 153 yards and 2 touchdowns. Michael Pittman Jr., 8 for 95 in a touchdown. Tyler Warren, 4 for 53, and Jonathan Taylor also had he had 3 touchdowns, but one of them was a pass was a receiver touchdown because they kind of like pitching in front of him, and they made it look easy. Here's the thing about the Titans: either get creative on offense or defense, show some life, or don't run out there. It is hard to watch the Titans. Jonathan Taylor, I know we talked about Cook's long touchdown. Jonathan Taylor had a touchdown on the sideline, and 2 guys could have just pushed him out of bounds. Pushed him, just snatched him out of bounds. They didn't do it. And I'm like, what? Cam Ward is giving you all he got, though, 22 or 38, 259 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. It was a play in the game the way it was like 4 for 3, and they punted it. And you can see Cam Ward come to the sideline asking Coach McCoy, dude, why don't we go for it? Like, what is it going to hurt if we go for it? We're on the 42-yard line going out. Come on, man. Like, we got to show some fight. No Jeffrey Simmons, and it was a huge problem. Spears, 9 rushes, 59 yards and a touchdown. DK had 7 catching, 93 yards. Chickwozium had 4 for 53. Here's the thing about the Titans, and I'm going to keep saying this. The Titans are going to have to find their identity. They're going to have to find it real fast. You either go out and get the coach you're going to get, because if Coach McCoy go through the rest of the year, the Titans are going to be picking either number 1 or number 2 in the draft. They're not going to win another game. They're not. And one of their best cornerbacks just got traded to the Rams.
Roger McCreary going to the Rams.
What is that? What is with the Titans trade? It's been waiting. They trade people, guys like who? I'm like Derrick Henry, like Kevin Byard, you know what I'm saying, like AJ Brown. Do you remember these guys? Pro bowler, 2,000-yard rusher, 1,000-yard receiver, lead the 2-time first-team All-Pro. You don't win when you send your best players to other teams. What type of nonsense is that, man? But it's Titans doing Titan things because, the Titans motto is in the front office, we draft, you know what I'm saying? We go out there and develop, and we retain. And that's what everybody does. I'm just saying. I digress.
And then we go to Sunday Night Football where the Green Bay Packers get revenge, if you will, on the Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers, former quarterback Aaron Rodgers, that is, of Green Bay. 35-25. Green Bay now 5-1-1 on the season. Pittsburgh falling to 4-3. But it was really the second half in which Jordan Love put on absolute clinic. And Tucker Kraft that you mentioned earlier. In week 2 on Thursday night, Kraft put up 6 receptions for 124 yards and a touchdown. While on Sunday night, career highs of 7 catches, 143 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Since trading Devontae Adams, Packers, well, they don't have a number 1 receiver, but they do have a number 1 tight end, which is kind of like a receiver, a 6'5", 260-pound, 224-year-old Tucker Kraft. That would be him He is him, as the kids like to say. 131 yards after the catch, third best in next-gen stats era since 2016. He has 469 yards, receiving most by a Packers tight end ever through 7 games. And like you said, it was National Tight Ends Day as well.
The mentee outplayed the mentor. I mean, obviously, Jordan Love spent 3 years under, other Aaron Rodgers, making sure he understood everything about the game, how he looked at film, how he went about the game, how he understood X and O's. Aaron Rodgers, though, 24-36. And Aaron Rodgers did come out and say before this week, he said, look, man, it's going to be bittersweet, playing back in Green Bay the first time since I left. But whenever I retire, I will retire a Green Bay Packer. But this time it wasn't about you, Aaron. It was about Jordan. But Aaron did have 24-36, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns. Didn't really get much for the running game. DK Metcalf had 556. Wilson had 4 for 74 the touchdown. Both of them had both top receivers had touchdown catches. But Jordan Love, 29-37, 360 yards, 3 touchdowns. Right? You mentioned Tucker Kraft. 7 for 143 and 2 touchdowns. Watson had 4 for 85. Here's the thing about this Packers team. You had Michael Parsons, right? You had Michael Parsons to the defense. That was already nice. Xavier McKinney, right? Rashad Gary, Quay Walker. They got a defense. They nice. And the thing about the Pittsburgh Steelers that should make them nervous, we talked about the Baltimore Ravens being able to go on a run with Lamar Jackson coming back starting this Thursday. Joey Porter Jr. and Jalen Ramsey play for that secondary. Can you tell, Smitty? Can you tell that Jalen Ramsey and Joey Porter Jr. are the starting cornerback for Pittsburgh? They throw the ball on them like they just all right. Have you heard from TJ Watt? Pittsburgh got a problem, and no one wants to talk about it. You got a bunch of age. Joey Porter Jr. is still in his rookie contract. Jalen Ramsey, I think, is 30 or 31 years old. I want to say TJ Watt is 30 or 31 years old. Cam Hayward, I think, is like 33, 34 years old. These are your best interior D lineman, your best outside lineman, your best pass rusher, and your best cornerbacks, all in their 30s, either early 30s or mid 30s. And I'm just telling you, for Pittsburgh, you can't even beat Cincinnati. It's going to be a long year for Pittsburgh. I'm just telling you, I don't know how this season is going to end up because Baltimore's going to wake up, and they might still end up winning the division because that's
our schedule is very easy the next few games. Miami, we'll get to week 9 in a second.
But shout out to Green Bay, man. Jordan Love, I know it feels good for him because he got so much respect for Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers got to do for Jordan Love what Brett Favre got to do for Aaron Rodgers. They both sat for 3 years before they played. So whatever year this is for Jordan Love, just subtract 3 years from it because he didn't play for 3 years. And people say that doesn't work, Ben. Yes, it does. First round quarterback sitting, and when it's time for them to play, it does work. The problem is you making them jump right in to start week 1 when they the first round pick, and by the time they're ready to play, they're beat up. I'm just saying, the different situation for different teams. But Jordan Love, man, he made it look easy last night.
And then at halftime on Monday Night Football, the Commanders and Chiefs are tied at 7. Both quarterbacks have thrown an interception in this game, and kind of a stalemate at halftime, surprisingly, in Kansas City. Commanders playing without Jalen Daniels tonight. Marcus Mariota getting the start there. So we'll see what happens there on Monday Night Football. I'm assuming the Chiefs are going to take control in the second half, but that's why the games are played. You just never know what happens. Ben, let's end as we do in the season with our top 5 games to watch and a toilet bowl if you must have one as well. For the prime time games are the following, the standalone games. Ravens-Dolphins in Miami to start the week on Thursday Night Football. And then going down to Sunday Night Football, the Seattle Seahawks go all the way across the country to the Washington Commanders. And then Monday Night Football wraps up week 9, Cardinals at the Cowboys. So those are your standalone primetime games for week number 9. All right, top 5 games to watch here in week number 9. I will go first. Number 5 on this list. Give me Colts Steelers. I mean, I think this is going to be a good game. Aaron Rodgers, I think, can put up a show with Daniel Jones, with Indiana Jones, as they call him. Pittsburgh's a tough place to play. And so I think the Colts are going to be ready. But I think this game is going to be better than people think. Number 5 on this list, Colts versus Steelers. My number 4 on this list. Give me Broncos Texans in Houston. Texans are trying to get back to 500. Broncos without Patrick Surtain, so Stroud should be able to attack that defense. And this game is going to be a good one there in Houston. Number 3 on this list, Sunday Night Football, Commanders Seahawks, assuming Jaden Daniels is back. Long trip for Sam Darnold and company. That defense, though, does travel, and Jaden Daniels is going to need to be healthy in this game. I think for the Seahawks to not lose, for the Commanders to try to win. The Seahawks have a great defense, as I said, who does travel. Number 2 on me?
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry about that. Internet on my my. All right.
Yeah.
All right, I think I'm finally back. Okay, sorry about that. Internet issues on my end here. Number 2 on this list, give me Panthers-Packers. I know the Panthers got blown out last week to Buffalo, but they're playing without Bryce Young, should be returning in Lambeau. A lot of defensive starters back as well. This is going to be another measuring stick for the Carolina Panthers. Dose of reality. Can they hang with this young Packers team in Lambeau, go on the road and get their second win of the season on the road? For a 5th win overall, and really, not saying the Packers can't afford a loss, Ben, but they can afford a loss. This would be a huge victory for the Panthers if they can get it. And then my number 1 is obviously Chiefs Bills at 425. They're in Buffalo. Going to be an outstanding football game there in Orchard Park. Mahomes versus Allen is a treat, as we always have as well. My toilet bowl. It was a hard decision between a few games, but my toilet bowl for this week, based on records, it's going to be Jaguars-Raiders is my toilet bowl. Jaguars have come back to earth a lot lately, and I know they're 4-3, but the Raiders are not good, and the Jaguars have put up some stinkers. I think that Kansas City win earlier in the season is showing to be a bit of an anomaly there for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So that's my toilet bowl for the week, but I could have picked from a lot of games.
Listen, not to be a homer, my number 5 is going to be Falcons and Patriots. I mean, I don't think the Falcons are going to win this game, but I want to see some fight. Yep. Because you didn't see anything. I mean, you didn't see anything on Sunday. You want to get back to playing some quality football against the best team in that division right now. So I'm going to go Falcons, Patriots, my number 5. My number 4, Vikings, Lions. No Carson Wentz, J.J. McCarthy. You get to go up against Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson might not have a lot of sacks, but he is in front. He is in the quarterback faces every single play. So for me, I'm looking forward to seeing Vikings, Lions. My number 3, Colts, Steelers. I want to see this Colts team go up against a team in Pittsburgh that's gonna be playing some really, really like inspired football, and they're gonna be like, "Look, man, we didn't look our best, and we're gonna have to try to go out there and show that we still got some fight in us." So I want to see Colts Steelers. My number 2, Broncos, Texans. C.J. Stroud. If you want to continue to get that respectability that you are seeking, you better because guess what? Bo Nix is like, yeah, I got drafted 3 years before you did. You got drafted. Guess what? I'm coming too, man. I'm coming too. And I play some big time football too. It's gonna be in the dome, so that's gonna good. Weather won't be a problem. And my number 1 is your number 1. Chiefs Bills. Neither team has really had the season they want to have right now, kind of up and down. I want to see like who it's gonna be. But I think, but whenever you get Patrick Mahomes, boy, whenever you get Josh Allen, it's going to be fireworks. It's going to be in Buffalo. So, yeah, them fans are going to be coming out. And my toilet bowl, Chargers Titans, golly. It's like, it's going to get bad. Because the Titans, once again, the Titans are the only team in the National Football League that after the game, the players do interviews at the big podium before the head coach. And when Coach McCoy was asked, why do the players come up to the podium before you? His answer, and I mean this, Smitty, was, and I quote, just doing what I was told. Who told you that? Like, who told you that? If the GM told you that, I'm not calling the GM an idiot. I'm calling the decision idiotic. That's dumb. Like, think about this, Smitty. Have you ever not known the coach, whether it's interim or not, to be the first person at the podium? Hey, that's like I said, where's Coach
No.
Hernandez? No, Andy, go on up there. Go on up there, JC. Go on up there, Derek Brown. Go on up there, Ted. No, you give a breakdown of the game, what did work, what didn't work, kind of like, you know what I'm saying, put some, breathe some air into the room, and then let the guys come in. No. Go on up there, Cam. Hey, Cam, why don't you ask Coach McCoy? Why don't you ask Coach McCoy? He ain't up here yet. He doesn't have media availability until you guys are done. What? I'm trying to tell you, Smitty. You want to know chaos? Look at the coach, look at the culture or lack thereof, and look at the team and the structure around them. Cam Ward, it ain't the same thing. But you know what I compare the Titans to for Cam Ward's rookie year? I compare it to when Trevor Lawrence rookie year when he had Urban Meyer. It is that chaotic in Nashville right now. Anyway, I love them two-tone blue boys in Nashville, but golly, man, we better than
Absolutely. Well, that's going to wrap up here, episode 70 of Winning the Division, Week 8 in the books, Week 9 right around the corner. As we say here on Winning the Division, you are either just in your division or you are winning your division. Rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Let us know how we're doing. Comments in the comments section, youtube.com/Tobacco Sports Radio. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for a special episode that we have coming to you tomorrow with former Washington State quarterback and I won't spoil the name, but an ex-Washington State quarterback. I'll let your mind travel there. He'll be coming on the show tomorrow night for a special edition here of Winning the Division. For Ben Troupe, I'm Ryan Smith. We'll see you next time. Rate, review, and subscribe. This is Winning.